Westworld Season 3 is finally over, but what did you think of it? I personally loved it, and I'm going to give you a few reasons for why I think some of the online backlash is a little bit uncalled for. Now, I don't want to get into spoilers just yet, so let's talk about what Season 3 done really well. Now, the thing about Season 3 is we're finally out in the real world, and that is great to see. A lot of people have been waiting for this moment. We wanted to see what's outside of the park, and we're finally getting it. And I feel like Season 3 really nailed the futuristic aspects that they were trying to deliver. I really believed in this new world that they had given us. Sure, it was very familiar to our own Earth, but there's so much little changes that they display that work really well for the storyline. All of your favourite characters have gone above and beyond, from Dolores all the way over to Maeve, Bernard, and of course William. All of these key players from the first two seasons just keep evolving, and we get to learn even more about the minds of these characters. I don't think you can say there was a bad performance. My personal problem when I put on episode 1, because I avoided as much spoilers and trailers and everything that I could, was to see Aaron Paul as the start. And I have a personal problem with Aaron Paul just because he gets typecast. It's not that he's a bad actor, it's just that we see him taking a lot of roles that look kind of similar, so it's hard to see his sort of acting range a lot of the time. But overall, he portrayed the character of Caleb really well in this series. I think for some people, they're going to say he needed to be a bit more heroic and go-getter and stuff. But really, this series was showing you the psyche of Caleb and him understanding who he was. And that's what I really like about it. Because from the start, we see that Caleb is basically a mirror image of Dolores. And the whole series kind of plays out exactly like how it did in the park. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor. Ford had tried so hard to build a perfect replica of the world that he actually had predicted what would happen in the outside world with it. And how can you be mad at that as a plot device? And I also think that Vincent played Serac awesomely as well. I think there was a weakness in his portrayal, and we sort of understand that the more we get to know the character. For as controlling as he seems, control lots of the time comes from a point where people are scared. You know, it's a panic move. To try and take control of everything normally is a panic move because they can't understand the things around them. So I think while he starts off as a really menacing type character, the more we learn about him is the more we start to see his flaws. And that's great for a villain because we have to see a way to beat him, because we need to, you know, and if you didn't see a way to beat him, then he had you fooled, didn't he? And he's a good bad guy. But overall, I think everyone played their characters really well. So what I think this season has done really well is play with your expectations, which is why I think a lot of people have some things to say about how the show has ended currently. We still have more seasons to go, but I think a lot of people are riled up because essentially they've spent 2 seasons having you question reality, left, right and center. What is going on? What is going on? Then the second they pull us out of the park into reality, everyone's still in that mindset when they're watching season 3. So they knew the beauty of season 3 is, let's play some chess with our audience. They're going to expect us to make this move and that move and that move. Let's play it down the middle. Let's get everyone back on a level playing field again for a second and catch up, which I think is a good thing. There was a lot of people complaining that season 2 was confusing. I don't think it is. I think that none of the seasons have been that confusing. Once you get to the end of every season, it's all explained for you as long as you've been paying attention. So the fact that they've actually kind of dumbed it down and that's like annoyed people is really funny to me, because they haven't dumbed it down, have they? They've just kept the mystery going by removing a lot of those mysteries. And yes, there was a great amount of twists and turns throughout this season. So overall, that is why I like it. I think it is a nice, refreshing approach to the show, and it's great that even at season 3, they can basically keep reinventing. They've done it for season 1 and season 2, but they can do what they want with this world, and they're gonna keep doing it. And I, for one, have just enjoyed watching it all play out like that. Let's talk about the things that are easy to ascertain from the ends credit scene. Bernard has obviously been there for a considerable amount of time, and while he may have gathered dust, I'm not 100% sure that that means the rest of the world has essentially burnt down. It just means he may have been forgotten about and a lot of time has passed. Because as we see in the shots with William in Dubai, the whole world isn't burning down. It's business as usual. They haven't even had news of what's going on in San Francisco. So we know a lot of time's passed. We know William has now been taken out by Dolores. He is now a host finally. We finally got the confirmed William is a host. That's it. It's now happened. and they are going to be on their take down Dolores' plan, vengeance. They're building an army, which is fine because Dolores has clearly been building an army, which means a lot of season 4 will hopefully not just be humans and how the humans are reacting to this. We're going to go back to a little bit more of a Secret Wars kind of vibe to it, where there's going to be a lot of hosts operating in this world again and having an all-out war for the sake of humanity's future, which they don't even know that's going on apart from a select few. So I think that's a great dynamic to go into season 4. You wanted war, you're gonna get it. Season 1 set everything up for season 2 to be on fire. Season 3 has set everything up for season 4 to be on fire. That is how they're writing this, and it works really well. I really enjoyed it this time around. Like, this season to me might have been the best season, and that's only a credit to how good season 1 and season 2 are. It's like I said in my previous video, it's a book, isn't it? We're in chapter 3 right now. Don't expect it to be over, and don't expect to get all of the answers that you want or think that it's going to go where you need. You're right in the middle of it. Give it a chance. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this almost like HBO syndrome, just because so much people started to love HBO's quality of shows because of Game of Thrones, but they forget about how good The Wire and so on. Do you remember that Sopranos just, I'm sorry if this spoils it for anyone, but it shouldn't. Remember how Sopranos ended, right? Yeah? Either the best ending ever or the worst ending ever, in your opinion. Look, HBO has been great and it's been bad, and it's made stuff like Ballers and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, stop just holding them to this stupid prestige canon that you've made up for them just because they have some great collections of shows. Yes, it's going to be hard to stick the landing for a show like Game of Thrones when they've got ahead of the book. You can't be mad at them for not sticking the landing for it when they've got ahead of the book that they based the material on, right? Just give, like, I just think everyone's so opinionated at this point in time about everything. The show's not over. It's done some really good things so far. I am not mad at it in any shape or form. If you have some reasons as to why you are, then drop them in the comments. But when I'm just seeing people being like, oh, they're totally going to Game of Thrones it and blah, blah, shut up, man. Just let them write their show. They take 2 years each time to put out a whole season. Like, they put in the time to do it. They don't want to mess this up because they really enjoy what they're working on. And that's clear when you look at anyone involved in it. And it's been great. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, then that's fair enough. Leave me a comment in it. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves. I'm back, baby.